What is the so I when I sent you a note, I said we're going to talk about the art and the science of being a coach. With the science, I take it that you break down moves into the simplest things you can and figure out how to make them better. But with the art, your cheerleader, your confessor, your coach, you have a lot of different roles doing what you do, and you're working with the best of the best. How do you teach them? How do you teach a top athlete to deal with the stress of being at the top level?
I mean, I started my coaching with it's Ted Banks as my mentor.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know
right?
Ted. Yeah.
So Ted Banks was the guy that kind of taught me how to coach.
Mm-hmm.
And so from a perspective on how to deal with athletes and how to act, like he gave me a lot of advice, right? And he made me understand energy systems, all this stuff. And then Randy Huntington, Lauren Seagrave, like John Smith, all these guys are people that I just used to annoy the hell out of, asking questions, calling them, trying to get information on. And so like putting all that together is, you figure out how to coach, but then as your personality, I've been coaching my whole adult life since I was 21. And so your personality starts to adapt to each individual you coach. And so what I can say to Christian and push Christian's buttons, I can't say to Trayvon, because Trayvon, where he comes from, he's going to want to fight me. Right.
Yeah.
And so you have to figure out what to tell them. And in terms of the pressure, like they have to feel the pressure, because if they don't feel the pressure and understand walking into a stadium at a major championship, like, then they're never going to be able to get to the level of being a medalist or actually being in the moment of like, you can be the best in the world. You can do these things. So I put pressure on them every day. Okay. And so when we train, when they have conversations with me, when I talk about technique, when I talk about my expectations, it's at a high level. I mean, I do have conversations with athletes that want to join the group, and I just say, this group, like, I'm not going to give you hugs and I'm not going to make you feel great every day. That's not my job. My job is to push you to the point of being the best you can be. Sometimes you're going to be mad at me. And Danielle Carruthers, like, when I coached her and, she won her first medal in her 30s, like, she let me know how she felt about me on a regular basis. and so she was a pretty volatile personality and she would go off, but I was able to push her buttons to get her to run very fast. And so you just have to find, it's being a people person. And off the track, I spend a lot of time by myself. I have had a single focus my whole adult life to be the best coach possible. But on the track, you have to adapt and understand who you're talking to, especially with this generation. Like your coaches, as my coaches, we got MF'd every day and we were told all these different things. And you try and do that today. Like they're changing groups. They're calling their managers. They're leaving because you hurt their feelings, and they're going to tweet about it and put an Instagram post about it. So you have to, I turned 50 in the summertime and I'm like, holy crap, I'm 50. But like how I coached when I first started as how I coach now, like my interactions with athletes are different because I can't say the same things, but I'm still that aggressive person.
Yeah.
Just has to be presented in a different way.
I just remember Brooks Johnson used to let me go watch him coach. And this is, and I was a young coach and I would go ask him questions. He was great. We'd argue about everything. But watching him coach the first few times was watching him and then watching other coaches was just mind-boggling. And everyone seems to have an attitude, and I think it's how you communicate with your athletes.